Welcome everybody to the Miami Hurricanes basketball preview for men's and women's. So for this year, and probably this year only, I am going to try my best to cover all the Miami Hurricanes basketball games as I possibly could from tomorrow all the way to March. So definitely a challenge that I'm willing to put on myself. And actually, I'm kind of excited to do it because this last year was a lot of fun watching these basketball teams play. So why not cover it and have fun with it with you guys. So I'm gonna start off with the men's. So the men's Hurricanes basketball team coming off from a Final Four appearance along with FAU Owls, and they got squashed by UConn Huskies team that was just over height advantage against the Miami Hurricanes. But it does not mean that the Hurricanes basketball season was a bust, because it was definitely a great season. They were co-champions of the ACC regular conference, along with Virginia, as far as I remember. The Miami Hurricanes are looking to come back and do it again, and we still got AJ Casey, Nick Cassano, who is a freshman, who is a recruitment. It's a 3-star recruitment. This past, he was a class of 2023. Before I continue on with the roster, there's one thing to note: the guys like Jordan Miller and Isaiah Wong, the guys who contributed a lot last season with the March Madness appearance all the way to the Final Four. Those two guys got drafted to the NBA. Definitely congratulations, well deserved to go to the NBA. Jordan Miller going to the Los Angeles Clippers, and Isaiah Wong going to the Indiana Pacers. I certainly hope they make the roster and make the team, because that would be spectacular to one day have the Heat go play against them, and then we'll say hello. Anyway, Matthew Cleveland, who is coming in for the Hurricanes, who is a transfer from, as far as I know, FSU. I think he was from FSU. It has to be. Yeah, Matthew Cleveland, a junior transfer from FSU. Paul Tabat, who was a freshman. Keyshawn George, also a recruiting 4-star. I think it's a 4-star. If not, then it's Nwalko. So Michael Nwalko is also a 4-star recruiter. I think he was actually a 5-star. I'm not quite sure, but he's from Switzerland. Nice. Bensley Joseph returning for the Hurricanes. He's a sophomore. I think the big players from last season who came back, Norchad Omier decided to return to the Hurricanes. He has unfinished business, and I'm glad he came back, because he is definitely a rebounding type player that we love to have. And guess who else came back for the Hurricanes from last season's run? Nigel Pack. He's back, baby, and he's gonna remain here. And they're both juniors. Uga Poplar also coming back, a junior. J.K. Robinson and Christian Watson coming in for the Hurricanes. That is the roster here, and the Hurricanes basketball season lingers for tomorrow. They're looking to get back into the March Madness, and hopefully this time win the ACC, which is very tough to do, because remember this: we still got Duke and we still got Virginia definitely being a force to be reckoned with, especially Duke. They still have the height advantage. Pittsburgh coming off in the Cinderella run that they have, really good season for Pittsburgh. Clemson doing pretty good, was good last season. NC State, and another key team here, North Carolina. I wonder how they're going to rebound from this season. We'll see what happens, as now we can look at the schedule, and then we move on to the women's side. So now we have, 5 plus 6 equals 11, 11 plus 9 equals 20, 20 plus 8 equals 28, and then 2 games. So 30 games. 30 games this season. So these schedules are like spread out, like Monday games, Friday games for the first few weeks. Especially in a couple of tournaments that were going to be involved during the season and the challenges. One of them I'm actually going to try to attend a game, and I'll definitely tell you that in a little while. So first off, we start off for tomorrow night. And there's 3 games tomorrow. So this is why I'm going to say I'm going to try to cover all the games as possible, because there's going to be a time where I might have to miss a game. That's just my harsh reality, because 3 games, even 4 games, is not going to be easy to cover, especially if you're trying to multitasking like this. You know what I mean? It's going to be hard. It's going to be very difficult. But I'm going to try. I'm committed to this job. And yeah, so first off, tomorrow we start off with New Jersey Institution Technology, and I know a thing or two about the Highlanders. I actually visited that school a few times in Newark. Actually, was it that one? No, it was a different school. Never mind. So forget what I said. We start off with the Highlanders. It's definitely are they from the American East? They're from the American East, so that's how I know them. So we start off with that schedule on Monday. Now Friday, Battle of Florida. UCF Knights coming down to Miami to Watson Center, because last year we were up in Orlando. UCF is from Orlando, Florida. I visited that school as well. You can check out my other channel. I was with JTV, so this could be a battle between me and him. So that's a Friday night game. Then Monday the 13th, Battle of Miami, and here's why: Miami Hurricanes versus FIU Panthers, and it's a really big shame I'm not gonna be able to make it there to watch. That's one of the rare matchups. Miami going up against FIU Panthers. They're looking for bragging rights. Definitely not like the soccer game I went to. That sucked. Then we got a big test. We go to the Bahamas Championship. I don't know if it's a tournament or not. I think it's a tournament. So they go to the Bahamas. We're the home team going up against an SEC school, Georgia Bulldogs. Yeah, we're going up against them in Bahamas. And if it's a Bahamas championship, great. We'll definitely keep in touch with that one. Then we got a big game on ESPN national television between us and Kentucky, an SEC school. It's an ACC versus SEC challenge presented by Continental Tire. So Hurricanes are capable of beating the SEC school. I mean, I watched one of them back in September where they beat A&M, but that's a totally different sport. But let's see what happens here in this one in the basketball game. I would suspect to be a great battle between those two teams. It would be a huge win if we get them, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Then we move on to December games. Our first game of December is early at 12 o'clock against Notre Dame. Now we go to our first ACC opponent. Let me just double check real quick. Yeah, our first ACC opponent is Notre Dame. Then we wait till next week to going up against an NEC school, Northeast Conference. I know a thing or two about Northeast Conference myself. They're going up against Long Island Sharks. Long Island. They're from Brooklyn, but they're also from Long Island. So really, they're really from Long Island. Then we have a Brooklyn showcase between the Hurricanes and Colorado Buffaloes. You know, Deion Sanders type thing. They're playing against the Buffaloes at Barclays Center on Sunday the 10th. The Dolphins are not playing that day. They have the Monday night in that week. Although the Florida Panthers are also playing at 1 o'clock. So we'll see what happens with that. By the way, that's the game I might try to attend. We'll see what happens there. Then our next game is the 16th. That is a Friday? No, it's a Saturday. I'm sorry. We got Los Soleil Explorers. I'm not quite sure what conference they're from, but that should be a win. That's on ACC. Oh no, that's not ACC Network. That's the next game against Stonehill. Stonehill's the next game. That's on ACC Network. And after that, that's Christmas time. Then we go playing against North Florida Ospreys. They're from Jacksonville. Now we go to January. From now on at this point, it's against ACC opponents. We got some great ones coming up. Our first game of the new year is against Clemson. That's on ESPN. Then after that, remember that scary game against Wake Forest? That's going to be a 2:15 tip-off. I'm surprised with that. 2:15 tip-off. Then after that, ACC Network matchup against Louisville. That's a match to watch. Then after that, it's against Virginia Tech. Then after that, Florida State. I mean, we got some settle to score with Florida State. That should be Last year we should have won that game, but we ended up blowing a 23-point lead. I was angry with that. Then we go up to Syracuse, New York, to play against Syracuse Orange. Then we go to Notre Dame. That's going to be on ESPN2 on January the 24th. Then we got Pittsburgh. I expect they want some bad blood on us for beating them out of the ACC Conference Championship. Then NC State Wolfpack. That's going to be on ESPN2. And for some reason, even though it's in the East Coast, they decided to tip off the game at 9 o'clock p.m. I don't know why. I don't know why they did that. Then we go to February, around the time of Valentine's Day. We got Virginia Tech again on 12 o'clock. Then, speaking of Virginia Tech, Virginia, another college in Virginia. This time it's the Cavaliers. Big match against them, and that's going to be on ESPN on February 5th. And after that, we got North Carolina, the Tar Heels, going up against them at Saturday the 10th, 4 p.m. Then another match with Clemson in Clemson, South Carolina on ESPN2. Then after that, Boston College, who we don't underestimate Boston College. That's going to be a ACC Network game at 4 o'clock. Then a huge game. Last season, we dominated them in the regular season, and then we just didn't have the hump to do it over the playoffs. Duke. There, I said it, Duke. It's an ESPN national televised game on ESPN. So definitely something to look at. By the way, the game against Clemson is on Valentine's Day, so there's another reason why I might not be able to watch. So we'll see what happens. Then we got Georgia Tech on February 24th, and then we got North Carolina on ESPN, and then the rest of March we got Boston College trying to wrap it up the season to try to get us into the ACC. Or get us a better chance to go to March Madness, as we already did, and to get a higher standings for the ACC tournament. And then our final matchup is going to be on ESPN2, Florida State. That should be a fun one to watch. And I will say, I'm going to say the Miami Hurricanes definitely have a good season this season. I don't know, maybe it is not the season to win repeat the ACC conference. I hope I'm wrong, but we'll see what happens. All right, so the women's side now. We got the roster here. We got Cheyenne Day Wilson as a junior, definitely a player to watch out for. I think she was a transfer, but we do got some recruiters. We got Alman, who was a recruiter. We got Dwyer, who was a junior from Canada. Lema Hilton, who was a sophomore coming in. Natasha Lattimore, that's a huge get. Gayla Dolot, I apologize if I get that wrong. Patrick, who's a senior. Jasmine Roberts, who has been really good last season with Miami Hurricanes, is coming back here. Lazaria Spearman, who's a sophomore. Ali Stenman and Jale Williams. Now, for the players last season who did not return, the Havner twins, just unfortunately not coming back. I think they're trying to pursue a career in wrestling. And then Destiny Harden, who got drafted by the Phoenix Mercury. So congratulations to her. As I think this past season, the Las Vegas Aces win the WNBA championship against the New York Liberty. In terms of schedule, so let's see, 5 plus 6 equals 11, 11 plus 7 equals 18, 18 plus 9 equals 20. Okay, so 18 plus 9 equals 27, and then one game in March. So 28 games this season. We start off with Jacksonville Dolphins, who, Jacksonville Dolphins, that's pretty cool. That's pretty nice. So there's another Dolphins team. So they're from Jacksonville, Florida, because I understand there's another Jacksonville team somewhere. So Jacksonville coming into Miami. They play against them at 11 a.m. They start on Thursday, November 9th. Then they got Fordham, the Fordham Bulls, who are from the Bronx, on Sunday the 12th. That's going to be on ACCX. And we got Southern University. That's going to be on Friday, 5 o'clock. Colgate, which is a 4 p.m. tip-off next week. After that is the Miami Thanksgiving Tournament. So another one that I might not be able to watch because there's a chance I might go to a game. that night. We'll see what happens. Then we got Mississippi State, who is a SEC opponent. That's gonna be on SEC Network, on ACC and SEC Challenge, presented by Dixie. That's November scheduled there. Then we got NJIT, the American East team, which we brought up with the men's. That's a 12 o'clock p.m. Sunday tip-off on ACC Network. Then we got DePaul Blue Demons. I saw their men's team play in Madison Square Garden. That's going to be an ACC Network on Friday, the 8th of December. Then next week after that is against Baylor, a Hall of Fame series against them at San Antonio. That's going to be on Big 12. Big matchup there for them. Then after that, Jackson State on the 20th. Then we go to Christmas. And after Christmas, we got Alabama State. That's a 1 o'clock tip-off. Then Louisville on ACC Network, they're 17th. We got them on the 31st New Year. Then after that, we got Boston College. So from now on, we got ACC opponents. Boston College on January 4th. Wake Forest against Miami at 2 o'clock tip-off. That's the final week of the NFL season, as far as I know. Then we got number 8, Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech's basketball team is still magnificent, as well as Notre Dame after that. So those are the scary ACC matchups there. Then we got NC State Wolfpack. That's going to be a 6 p.m. tip-off. North Carolina, another ACC matchup. That's 8 p.m. on ACC Network. Then another game on ACC Network, another North Carolina school, Duke. It's a 2 p.m. Tip-off for the Hurricanes. So great. Now we got February, the long month. We got Wake Forest first. Then after that, it's a Florida State match on 11 a.m. against them in Tallahassee. Definitely not school to be reckoned with as well. Then we got Clemson after that. That's Thursday the 8th. Then we got Georgia Tech against them on February 11th on ACCX. Then we got Syracuse after that on the 15th of February. Then at that ACC Network matchup, Florida State at Watson Center. So that's a big match to watch. Absolutely. Then we got Virginia Cavaliers in the 22nd. Clemson after that. And then Pittsburgh on ACC X. And then after that, we got Georgia Tech on the season finale. Let's see where it goes from there with the ACC tournament. And they make it back to the ACC, it's not ACC, March Madness. So we'll see what happens there. We'll see what happens there if the Hurricanes can get over the hump. Again, go over the ACC big matches. We could make it back to the March Madness, and then hopefully this time win it all. It's a stretch, but it can be done. It can be done. And around that time in February, that's where it gets even tougher for me to look at all, because around this time we got Miami Heat, we got the Florida Panthers, and the two Hurricanes basketball teams, and eventually the baseball team. So I'm not sure if I can cover all of them. And then into Miami comes up, and then we got the Miami Sharks coming up, which is a rugby team I'll be covering this season as well. But anyway, there you go. That's going to do it for this video, folks. With this preview of both teams. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to content, because Miami 2G has it back. And when he does, he'll be right there with you. Fair entertainment you deserve. So Miami 2G, saying up, folks. Go Canes, and I'll see you guys next time. Good night, everybody.